Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny. I'm from Jenny Card Designs. My YouTube channel contains content that is intended to share paper crafting, tutorials, and inspiration with all of you. I hope that you enjoy. In today's video, I've got a cute cupcake and sprinkles card for you using the Concord 9th Turnabout stamps. So we'll just walk through how I set up the Turnabout stamps and make this cute little card. So let's start off with setting up our Turnabout stamp. So I've got a ruler, a pen, my stamp set, and a stamp positioner. We'll start with the Turnabout stamp. You'll need a 6x6 piece of cardstock, and you're going to need the packaging. You're going to need the little key on the back of the packaging for this. So I'll move everything out of the way here, and I'll grab my cardstock. I've already got this pre-cut up, and I used a black one just so that you can see better in this video. You can use whatever you like. So this measures 6x6, and I'm going to take my white gel pen here. I'm using this white gel pen just so that you can see better for the purposes of this video. You can use whatever, you can use a white cardstock with a black marker or whatever. So I'm just going to draw a line from one corner to the other, and then I'll flip my cardstock and do the exact same thing and create an X across this panel. So this is the little jig that we're going to use to be able to set up our stamp. You can laminate this jig or leave it just like this, whatever you prefer. So for today's video, I'm just going to leave it like this. So once we've got our X drawn right in the very center of our cardstock panel, I'm going to take the key in the back of the packaging and trim it out. So you want this little image here. This is what's going to help us get perfect positioning for our Turnabout stamp. So I'll just trim that out very quickly, and then I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this and attach it to my cardstock jig. So I'll line up the X's that are on the key with the X's on my panel so everything is perfectly straight. You only have to do this once, so you want to make sure that it's accurate. Once we have everything set up, I'll pop my jig into my Misti, and then I'm going to grab the stamp. And using the little sprinkles on the key, I'm going to line up my stamp so that they're dead center on the little key there. So once everything's lined up, I'll pick up the stamp with the door of my Misti, and then I've got a sheet of cardstock that I've added a little bit of adhesive to the back. Also, you notice that my little key is missing. I've got it on the back side of this cardstock. I just flipped it over because we only need the key to line up the stamp. So I don't want my adhesive to rip off that key or any of the details on it. So I flip it over and use the back side of the jig. And then I'm going to ink up my stamp with my first color ink and get started on my sprinkle background. Once it's inked up nice and good, I'll turn the door of my Misti and stamp on my cardstock. And then I'm going to pick up the jig and rotate it once to the left. And then I'll ink up with my second color and do the exact same thing. I'll close the door of my Misti and stamp the image, and then pick up the jig and rotate it one more turn to the left again. Okay, I've got my third color. I'll ink up the stamp. I'll close the door of my Misti and stamp the image. And for the final turn, I'll stamp with my last color, pick up the jig and rotate it one more turn to the left again. I'll close the door of my Misti and stamp the image. And now we've got a fun sprinkly background, all complete with 4 different colors. So that's all done. I'll take the stamp off the door of my Misti, I'll clean it all up, and I'll put it back into the packaging. And then along with the little jig that we've made, I'll slip everything into the little pocket that I use to store my stamp. So the next time I want to use that Turnabout stamp, I've got my little jig and everything I need to get set up and started again. So here's a look at our sprinkled background, and let's turn this into a card. So this stamp set has some multiple step stamps inside of it, along with some sentiments. So I've grabbed a bunch of little stamps. I've got a couple of the cupcakes and the filler items to make the cupcake decorated and colored in. So I'll stamp that using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and then I'll grab the cupcake liner and I'll stamp that using the same colors that I used in my sprinkle background. So I'll stamp the one liner here with the pink, and then I'll stamp the other cupcake liner with the blue. And then for the frosting, I used the green and the orange. And then I came back in with the sprinkles for the top of the cupcakes with the same color I used for the cupcake liner, so the pink and the blue. I grabbed an alcohol marker just to color in the cake part of the cupcake to make it look vanilla. I think this is an EB2 marker from Spectrum Noir. And then I grabbed my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut out these cupcakes. They're pretty simple images to cut out, and I just left a little tiny white border around the edge of these cupcakes. Now I've just super sped these up because I'm really slow at fussy cutting, and you'll probably be sitting here all day watching me if we did it in real time. So I'm just going to show you this one. We'll cut it out and then we'll jump right into pulling this card together. So I've got a pink 5x7 card base here, and I'm just going to trim down my sprinkle panel so that it's got an even border all the way around the card. And then I decided I'm going to mat this with some black cardstock. And then I've also got a little square, a 2.5 inch square that I stamped the sentiment "Hey There" cupcake. And then I'm going to adhere everything together and put this panel on my card base. And then I decided to pop up the sentiment with some foam tape. I'll adhere my sentiment to the black panel. And then I'm going to add some foam squares in behind this to pop it up. And then once that's done, I'm going to take some foam squares and cut little small ones out and put them in behind my little cupcakes. And then I'm going to grab some sequins from my little stash here. These are from Neat and Tangled. And I'll just adhere them. I'll use my Gina K Connect glue and I'll adhere a few sequins into place on this card. And then this card is complete. And I'm just going to clean up my mess here. Here's a close-up look at our finished cupcake card project. Super cute with a little bit of sequin sparkle on it. And that's it for this project. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video and you've got a little bit of inspiration and knowledge for your Concord 9th Turnabout stamps. Thank you so much for stopping by to spend a little bit of your time with me here today. If you like the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd love to have you along my card making journey. Coming up on screen are a few videos that I think you may enjoy. So thanks again, have a lovely day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!